Okay.
Hi, friends. Thank you for that. Hello. How's everybody? Well, yeah, I'm using working room for this event, but honestly, I don't know where else I should go. Like, is there a better place to start doing these? Is that okay? Because yeah, okay. Well, I'll switch it up. All right. I feel like that's too big for me. You're sweet. Okay. Well, let me switch it up then. No problem. Well, I'll get out of here and switch it up. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Hello, guys. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. So let me try to pop us back to the screen. I was in working room and I was given the okay to capture the stage. So thank you all for your patience as we get going here. So feel free to jump in. Um, Today we're gonna really jump right into it because I have wasted about 5 minutes getting us started. So let me get us going in just a second. So hang tight. All right, so I'm just setting up the scene now. Okay, so you'll be able to pretty much see everything I see, which is good because I kind of want to do a little bit of work in the request board today. So let's pop this on over. All right. Okay. So first of all, hello. I am Sophie. I am your host. I have a little website called standwithsophie.com in which I do a lot of like content production. So it seemed a natural crossover for me to come into the space to show you guys how I do what I do. So let's see. I might actually just share my screen because this thing is not wanting to show you everything today. Okay. So today what we're going to do is we're actually going to show how to manage the request board. We're going to pick up a request board request, and then we're going to work on it a little bit for the next maybe 40 minutes and just kind of show you guys what that looks like, what the process is, because I feel like there's a lot of times when we are new to this space, you're like, okay, I'm really fired up. I'm in digital ground game. I really want to do something. And then you're like, okay, well, what do I do? But if you have a good understanding of just how to do some video editing, how to do some audio editing, how to make memes, or just how to have fun, this is the place for you. And here's how you can start kind of getting your feet wet with some of this. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to raise your hand or leave a comment. And if you can see my screen, that's the best way to be looking. On the left-hand side of your Discord, if you go down to the request board, where is it? It's in like the media section. Okay, here we go. So here's the entire request board. All right. And so the way that it works is if somebody has an idea, even you, if you have an idea or something you want to do, you can pop over into request board and you can either add a request and say, okay, I'm thinking, there's all this talk about the war in Iran, and I have a really cool idea about how to connect that to something that George W. Bush did or whatever. You can type that out, put any materials that you want here, and then, of course, tag it for if you think it's going to be a video, if it's something that hasn't been claimed yet, of course. There's a lot of different ways you can let people know that you need some help with this project. So you can, of course, submit something to request board, but if you're wanting to find something to do on request board, there's little filters you can use here to help you kind of figure out what needs attention. So there are, you can sort it by what's latest, what's new, but these are the easiest things. So you can see, okay, these are things that have been claimed. So somebody's already working on these things. These are active projects that are unclaimed. So these are all things that are really going to need the most and quickest attention. Also, some of these are for research teams, so they're not necessarily media projects. So you can, of course, use your filters to kind of see, okay, I just want to work on something that's a video, and it'll help you to narrow down what's on the table for you to help with. So what we're going to look at today is this one here. It says clips for Anna and Dylan collab. So I'm interested in this because Tribot actually brought it to my attention. And I see I have a question. Let me pop back there real quick. Or I think I have a question. Do I have any questions? Oh, no, Kai just shouted this out. Thanks, guys. All right, so I'm going to hit the back button just to get back there. So we're going to look at this one. It says clips for Anna and Dylan collab. So it says we want to bring more attention to the Trump admin lifting sanctions on Russian oil. So to then use, we also want to use this to promote Anna's documentary, Ukrainian Anna. and possibly another fundraiser. Keep clips less than 60 seconds. Think of two different versions, one that appeals to based Ukraine aligned wine moms, and one that appeals to TikTok folks who are primed because they've been seeing war footage for a few years on the war in Gaza. So, a possible idea is to juxtapose the brutality talked about in Anna's documentary with newsreels that are talking about the sanctions on Russian oil being lifted. And so, also maybe include some spooky Trump images. So here's the documentary. So this is going to be like our base file. So the way that I go about like stealing media, this is kind of your tip number one. So I pretty much just go to the YouTube video and try to see what it's all about. Some really cool features that YouTube kind of has already are that it will let you. Oh, and oh my gosh, okay, I'm on my mic. It'll let you like download the transcript. So this is well, it's probably not very helpful right now because it's in Russian, but well, it's in some of it's in Russian, but just for future reference, if you're like looking for a specific thing in a piece, you can go to the transcript and just hit, control find, and you can say, I'm looking for any mentions of Trump. There are none. So let's see. So maybe you're looking to repair. So yeah, you can see like if you're looking for a word, you can find it really easily in the transcript. When I was looking at some of the Constantine Kissen stuff ahead of Destiny's debate, I was able to go through and look at some of the transcripts for when he was on Question Time and stuff, and just search for when he was talking about Trump or net zero or like certain keywords. So this is a really quick, helpful tip. So the way I actually kind of steal this information though is I will just find a YouTube downloader. There's a couple of ways to do it. So I'll show you the easiest in my opinion. So I just type in YouTube downloader and you can see that's a very common search for me. There's a couple that I really like. Y2Mate's great. Social Plugs, all right. But the best one I found so far is YT Down. But literally any of them, they all do the same thing. The issue I found is that they try to trick you. So you want to get your share. The other ones aren't so bad, but this one might do it. So you see how like it'll pop up pages. So you just got to be careful about that. Most of the times these are ads, but I think my Safari is trying to save me from it. So literally just close the page. The page, any page that pops up is not real. So don't get spammed and don't get like viruses because you don't know that everything's going to be contained in this for the most part. So put your link in, hit start. Sometimes you have to do like a little verification thing. And then it'll let you choose like what size video you want to download. And this is always kind of the starting place. So I've already done this. So another thing is like if you hit, download here or convert here, sometimes it'll pop that ad page back up and it'll have like download buttons all over it, but those are fake. Don't pay attention to those. So yeah, so just checking to see if we're all good. Sorry, I can't really go back and forth. I'll try to keep up in case there's any questions or anything. So feel free to raise your hand if you want to jump on stage at any point too. Especially, let me see if my folks are here. Ulysses, try if you guys want to raise your hand if you want to talk a little bit more about. Yeah, I'd love to know more about request board that I'm sharing information on that properly. I'll pull you guys up for a sec before we continue. No, what's up, guys? Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Awesome sauce.
Yeah,
All right,
I
making sure
generally
people can
agree.
hear you.
Request boards are really like me and Sophie here generated an ad for for Wisconsin
Yeah.
for a little thing. We haven't done that in a while, I should say. We're coming up on that deadline where April 7th is coming around the corner.
Mm.
Not only is Georgia coming up, which that's going to be a test of a Sapphire, well, not Sapphire, Ruby district, but for Wisconsin is basically going to be the bellwether of 2026 to see if we've either maintained or increased our margins
Mm-hmm.
um, for for the 2026 start. So, like, go to the request board. It can be anything. Like, you can do media. I know there's request boards for research. I don't know how much they've done in terms of finishing research on districts. I know the last time I saw, I think there was one
I
for
think there's still a bunch of open stuff.
yeah,
Actually,
I
Yeah.
think I finished Wisconsin 3, but I want to say there's like Wisconsin 1 might be still, but I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look unless they got rid of those districts.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, if you guys want to come in, pitch in, do stuff together. Like I just got off the line talking with my local Democratic council in
Hmm.
Eau Claire, and I'm trying to get the Eau Claire people connected in with Digital Ground Game to like increase messaging output. You're more than welcome. If you have those feelers like I do with your own like city councils, please throw out something in the request board, maybe, and like maybe you're not even necessarily in media team or you're just like interested in it. Throw it out there in the request board, and maybe somebody from media team can like reach out to you, and you can be like the special liaison
Mm-hmm.
between your local
oh,
county or
yeah,
your state to us.
yeah. So you can't post directly in the request board. So you can put it in the media team channel or in general,
Right.
and if the leads see
Yeah.
it, we can turn it into a request board post. Yeah.
Yeah. Or well, yeah. In
So
this
this
case, just
is
contact like Tribot or me
yeah.
or Sophie. I think I have privileges to do this since I'm in media, but I don't know if I'm a lead. I'd have to check.
No
But
worries.
yeah, just get people out there. Reach out. If you're just a volunteer, reach out to me, Sophie, Tribot. We're always welcome to talk to you guys. I'm a Wisconsinite, so I'm nice and friendly. Sophie's in Britain, so she's got to be like tip top, posh and nice.
I do.
Tribot, I don't know where's Tribot.
I'm in
I don't.
Chicago,
I
so
found our
Oh,
the
okay.
Midwest.
I
So
found
the
our
posh
event.
of the Midwest. So
Indeed.
yeah.
Indubitably. Indubitably. So yes, absolutely.
But
The pinky up.
and this is yeah, I agree with everything that everybody here said. So, but one of the things I will, because I'm also just a guy who likes to at people and like announce, in 2 weeks time, 14 days, we have our biggest digital ground game advertisement possibility ever. And what is that? No kings. No kings will be out. People will be out trying to protest.
Yeah.
Emotions will be high. We like. I know people. We like. I don't necessarily know if we've had like. Do we have the cards that we're getting ready to distribute to people to like get people interested
The
and signed up quite yet?
I have yes. I have do, 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 do. I saw them. Here they are. Right, these right here. Can you see my
Yeah,
screen?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's Zoom. So like leads probably should be I don't know how much they want to like print out, but we should be like I know it I am going to get these printed out, so if anybody in like my district or in Wisconsin wants to like there's like feeling to traveling closer towards me in Eau Claire, I can hand those out to people. Tribot, I have no doubt, same thing, especially because a lot of these protests are going to be in like regular, small, big, medium, large cities. So Chicago, have no doubt there's going to be a metric fuck ton of people out there. Eau
Mm-hmm.
Claire, Madison, San Francisco. This is our biggest attempt right now for advertising. So
Mm-hmm.
get people out there, get people interested. Um, uh, it can be anybody from public speaking to research. We need everybody we can. So I don't want to like hijack Sophie's
Yeah,
subversion.
go.
I
Bye.
guess I subverted your plot. Okay, I subverted the subversion. All right,
No,
I
no,
am
it's
meta.
fine. It's good to know. Honestly, like, yes, listen to Ulysses. This is absolutely important to do. It's a huge event. There's a lot. I know we're like a wing of Destiny's stuff too, so there's a lot going on there. They've got a whole like hackathon kind of situation coming up. A new Minecraft server coming up. So there's a lot of ways to stay connected. We've got No Kings coming up. We've got just literally so much going on. We're doing a lot of connections with like Wick apparently and Pangburn apparently. So there's a lot of really cool stuff coming up. So definitely stay tuned. But again, this is your place to put the lights, camera, and political action in action. So that's where glad to know what's in the pipeline, what's in the hopper. So thank you so much for that, Ulysses, and thanks Try for seconding the request board situation. Wanted to make sure I was showing that off appropriately. All right, so we'll jump back to the tutorial. So I'm going to drop you now. Thank you so much. If I can do it. There we go. Alrighty, friends. Thank you, guys. So where we kind of left off was that we're showing you how to capture these long form pieces that will then be cut up into sort of more short or reel length pieces that we can use on shorts or reels or just as small clips or whatever we want to do with them. So again, we've shown you how to download them, finding a free YouTube downloader. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to literally do like a screenshot of your computer. So if you're on an Apple, if you're on a PC, I'm so sorry I don't know the actual like things to do that. But I know there's like programs that are native to Windows that let you screenshot your computer. Apple has those too, but they're a little bit dumb. So like, for instance, I can go to QuickTime, which will allow me to open up a new, like screenshot. You can also just do the screenshot. Like I can go to screenshot, right? And it'll literally it's basically just QuickTime. So you might as well just go right to QuickTime. So basically you'll be able to choose if you want to do a new audio recording or a new screen recording. So that's what we'll do. And it just gives you some options down here. So if I just want to record a selection of this screen, so I just want to get this little piece so that I'm showcasing just the video. There's a couple options you can do. So I want to use the microphone as what's called the Black Hole 2. You have to go and download this if you have a Apple, because unfortunately it doesn't natively record your computer's audio like I'm sure PC does. So you'll have to get a secondary like driver. But on top of that, you have to also change your audio settings, because not only do you have to make sure that your sound is output through the driver, you have to make sure your sound is input through the driver too. So I could literally do a whole thing on how to set up like your MIDI commands and all this, but just suffice it to say, if you're trying to record audio using the screenshot feature or like a video with audio, there's a few steps you want to take before you jump right into that. Namely, just downloading the driver, which is called Black Hole. It's free. Just Google it. And then you got to go in and change to where it's better not change it. The input needs to be Black Hole and the output needs to be Black Hole. And so that's the only way to actually record the audio using the screenshot feature. And there's some cool ways with like, again, MIDI controls that you can make multi-output devices so you can still hear what's going on. But again, we can definitely do a whole audio situation at another date. And maybe my husband would want to join me for that. He's actually a real life certified like audio engineer, so he'd probably have better tips on that than I would anyway. But anyway, so that's a few ways that you can download these things. A third way that's even easier than all this crap with the black hole and stuff is just pull it up on your phone. Just do the screen recording from your phone, because it'll naturally capture the audio. And if you're watching it in the 9:16 vertical portrait view, then you're already getting it in that vertical style that is best for shorts and reels anyway. So that's like 3 totally different ways to get the clip. So now that we've gotten the clip, what's next? So again, there's multiple ways to kind of figure out what you want to capture from this. So I am not a big fan. I'm lazy. I'm very lazy. So I'm not going to sit here and watch an hour and 25 minutes for, a request board request. Like I love Blair. I got a really nice opportunity to meet him the other day. He's such a sweet guy. But I'm not going to sit here and watch an hour and 25 minute anything for him, because I got things to do. So that's where, again, these transcripts really come into play. Unfortunately, this one is in Ukrainian or Russian. And so I'm not going to be able to use this one. So what I might do is open up a program that lets me use text-based editing. I like Premiere. It's my favorite. But there's also programs like, do I have it down here? Descript, Stellar. That's like all it is. That's all it is text-based editing. So the first thing it'll do is download your stuff and make sure you can understand it. But I like Premiere because it does translation. So even if it's hearing, it's probably hearing Ukrainian right here. But look, it's letting me see it in English. So what you do is you basically just pull your file in, so I pulled the file in. I tried to do some prep work, you guys. And then you pull the file down to new, so it makes a new scene or sequence. And then you click it, go to your text-based editing, and it'll ask you, do you want to transcribe this? And it takes about 10 minutes for something like an hour and a half like this. So that's why I tried to do all that beforehand. And so now that I have the transcript, there's a couple of things you can do. You can, of course, search through this, do some scrubbing, and just see if you can find some like action-y shots. Like that looks, there's a lot going on there. What's this?
Of a North Korean-made Hwasong-11A ballistic missile, manufactured by North Koreans, provided to the Russians.
All right. Now, honestly, this is one I might actually go back and watch, because I love Ukrainian Anna, and I really, of course, want to familiarize myself with what's going on here. And I didn't even consider the point of view of the emergency services and EMTs and firefighters who have to come into the fray after, a bombing or a missile situation. So this is beautiful work. It does deserve our attention, but for now, let's just see if we can find some stuff that we can pull out that's very visually captivating. So we've seen a few things. The thing is, though, what we're being asked to do for this particular, request is to juxtapose the war in Ukraine against what Trump is doing with lifting the Russian oil sanctions. So basically, by doing this, and this is where you kind of have to have a deeper, political mind with all of this. It's not just, okay, we're going to have some clips how do we connect the fact that Trump has publicly, embarrassed their leadership in Ukraine, has publicly basically taken the side of Russia this entire time, and now he has the fucking audacity to lift Russian oil sanctions because of a situation that he caused, where we can't get oil through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran and a lot of the Middle East are angry at us, so it's his fault that we're in this situation in the first place. And now we're in a situation where we have to pay Russia to essentially continue fighting these poor people who are supposed to be, our allies in Ukraine. And so I think it's really important that we connect this work to that in the way that Blair is asking of us. So what we might also want to do on top of scrubbing for, for visuals here, like this is good stuff. Like, so let's also try to find where Donald Trump is saying, stuff about how Russia is bad and I don't like Russia, but suddenly he's doing these things to help. So I don't really know what that looks like. But okay. So I think this is now the time where we move into research mode a little bit. I fucking hate ChatGPT. I'm really pissed at what has occurred, considering all the situations with Sam Altman and Anthropic and the Pentagon and stuff. But I have such a long-standing relationship with ChatGPT. I'm in the process of moving over to Gemini or something else. I like Claude, which is an Anthropic product, but unfortunately, it's just difficult to do like a lot of the image and video work that I really enjoy from like Gemini and stuff. With Claude, it's definitely more research based. So I probably should be doing this on Claude, but for now, because I know ChatGPT, we'll just be using this. So I want to basically ask, like, are there instances of Trump or news events of Trump's recent and now that I'm kind of thinking it out, I'm wondering, speaking of news, like if we basically take the Ukrainian war footage that we'll pull from Anna's documentary, if we just juxtapose that against these articles talking about what's going on with the Russian oil sanctions being lifted, if that's sufficient, and weigh in. Tell me what you guys think. Let me pop over to the Discord. Like, I'm absolutely thinking that what we do is we have the visuals of the war. Oh, and Darko says, Claude has a few built-in prompts that you could use in ChatGPT to help transfer to whatever. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, so what do you guys think as far as like what the ultimate video we're trying to produce here should look like? I'm thinking, again, war footage, bombing footage, them trying to do the cleanup. And the fact that we'll be pulling from that documentary, we can, of course, cite it at the bottom. So hopefully that's another sort of promo for the documentary that will just be throughout the video. But then if we can have like news articles fly over it that say, like, Russia has lifted or Trump has lifted sanctions on Russia. Like, I think that could be a really easy and quick way. Because, again, a lot of this is just about trying to do something that we can churn out relatively fast. So if we can maybe have the articles fly over that show that in the midst of all this war and ruin in Ukraine, Trump has just made it worse with, lifting the sanctions. But then what can we do to connect the two? That by lifting these sanctions, he is directly shitting on the Ukrainian people. I wonder if there's a voiceover that we can use. I see Try, you're weighing in. If you want to pop up on the speaker again, let me know. But happy to wait for a few ideas as well. While you're typing, I'm just gonna see if we can find some good headlines for Trump lifts Sanctions. I'm just gonna go to news. Yep. And I'm in the UK, so I keep getting all the Telegraph, Guardian, all the sort of UK news. I can also look at news. I'm wondering if any articles actually highlight the connection between. Oh shit! Trump ordered an attack on Karg Island. That's where they keep all their oil reserves. That's insane. Okay. Jesus Christ. The price of gas is never recovering, you guys. If this is true. Yeah, like good lord. So it's done? Oh gosh. I feel so bad for you guys. Like I really do. Like I don't drive and I'm in Europe, so like I definitely don't feel the impact of this as much as my American friends and family, so I am so sorry, y'all. All right. Troy says, "Oh, Ukraine is sending experts to defend U.S. bases." Oh, that's terrible. No worries, Try. Maybe it would be helpful to create a place to post good reference materials for this topic. That way we have a quick list if we need it again. To be fair, thanks, Stumbling. To be fair, that's kind of what the request board is for. Like, I feel like it's the more you can beef up your request. If there weren't new updates, right. I that's true. But if you want to, like, when you're creating the request, like, I feel like you are either, once you deliver it into the request board, you're either saying, this is exactly what I want, and I want this to look like this, and it needs to be this long, and it needs to have this sort of cadence or whatever. Or you're saying, here's my idea, do it. So I feel like we're on that end of the spectrum, the latter end of the spectrum a little bit here. So which is fine. There's nothing wrong or right about either approach. It's just that when we're presented with, okay, here's my idea, go for it. It does present these challenges where now we have to kind of figure out, okay, well, we have the materials that we want to be shown. How do we connect the dots? How do we present it so that somebody watching this can immediately understand? Because again, this is Subversion School. How can they immediately understand that this action has these much deeper ramifications? And how can we present that to them in like 3 minutes or less, basically? So my thoughts are, show the devastation in Ukraine. That can kind of be the underpinning of the video. Somebody says, but having a good link to the video of Trump embarrassing Zelensky, and then if somebody wants to queue it up, it's easy to find. Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's part of it. Like we could show how he's like shitting on Ukraine. He has basically sided with Putin at every turn, and this is kind of the coup de grace. Which literally is a coup de grace. He's allowing Putin to basically take over all this shit. Honestly, that's again, like Try was saying, that's something that's everywhere. So even just alluding to the kind of imagery you want is helpful. Again, not to say that every request needs to be jam-packed with every single little thing, but the more you put in it, the more you give the person on media team who's taking this, or if you're going to take it, it's easier to get to the finish line because you kind of know what you want to do. That would be a great way to help the requests. Yeah, exactly. So the more you put in your request, the better. But for now, it's okay. We're just going to try to figure out the end game with this piece. So, all right. It's not even the official question. Oh, I see. So just in the ongoing conversation on media team, you can make a thread about, or even in that particular request board thread, you can continue the conversation in there. That's true. Let me show you guys what he's talking about. So in this, you could basically say, okay, first of all, let's update this because we're taking it. So I'm going to edit the tags. It's no longer unclaimed, it's claimed. And we're going to also just maybe say like, because he's the creator of this, we're going to say we're thinking of connecting the dots. The Ukraine war and will continue in a pace due to sanctions being lifted. So the Ukraine doc will show underlying visuals while we juxtapose that against Trump's treatment of Zelensky and Ukraine. The sound. So just a way to kind of check in with the creator and to help us kind of figure out what it is we're trying to do. So good point, Try. Thank you. Let's pop back in. Okay, so how about showing the devastation of Ukraine and explaining how much money Russia is making by the sanctions being lifted, can find online, and then giving that number an additional rockets, bombs, drones for Russia. Ooh, that's a really good idea. We should also encourage people to use Republicans in general that are supporting this. Need to make it stick to the party and not just Trump. Very good point. Very good point. Tetrax, I like that. Let's see if we can... okay, so I feel like we're kind of storyboarding or brainstorming a bit. I like this. So if we get sort of the behind the scenes or behind the content video, I like the idea of finding the clip where he was shitting on Zelensky. Again, we can really quickly and easily, I think, pull some news articles that we can kind of flow over it. The beauty of news articles is they typically tend to have YouTube videos of their own, so that are accompanying them. So maybe let's see if we can find some of those clips just to start. Because again, if we just get all the material, then we can start to put things together. It won't be so bad. Okay, Trump. Ski clothes. Thank you. Okay.
Mr. President, I've got two questions for you. You think ultimately your legacy will be the peacemaker and not the president that led this country into another war and ended foreign wars? And I've got a
election were lost in the wrong direction. If this election were lost, if we didn't win this election, and by the way, we won it by a lot. That was a man.
God, he's
we won
a
everything.
dick.
The district could have very well ended up in a third world war, and that would not have been a good situation. What was your second question?
And my second question for President Zelensky. Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if you do own a suit?
I don't have such. I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one,
Maybe something like this?
something like
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Yes,
That'd be great.
maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something.
All right. And that's not really Trump. But didn't at one point, like, J.D. Vance and Trump were, like, all down his throat? Like, oh, why don't you say thank you?
You said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States
what
of
are you speaking
America
about?
and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can.
not speaking.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can.
not speaking loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly. Your country's
Can I-
in big
can I-
trouble.
can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big
There it
trouble.
is. There it is, guys.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the.
That's it right there, guys. So we're just looking for those sound bites. I think that'll do it. So I'm just going to get that. Okay. And let's see. I know. Somebody said the through line should be U.S. troops are dead near Iran. Ukraine sends defensive specialist. Meanwhile, Trump sells them out for Russian oil, cut to destruction in Ukraine. Someone on YouTube reporting some lag on stream. Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks, Foliage. We do have a lot going on. Let me close news maybe. I'm also doing I'm doing hardware encoding. I was doing software encoding and it's still overloading, so sorry. Yeah, I'm genuinely not too sure what to do about that. But let's drop this into the project. And let me rename it Trump creating. All right, and Trump. If we can find someone saying what we want to be said, that might be the easiest, quickest way to kind of connect these dots. Trump, Russian, sanctions, Ukraine. What is this saying? He's considering to end the Ukraine war, like end with what result?
Waiving certain.
How do you interpret DEI?
Okay, it's weird.
How do you interpret DEI?
That's weird.
We're also waiving certain oil-related sanctions to reduce prices. So we have sanctions on some countries. We're going to take those sanctions off till this straightens out. Then who knows, maybe we won't have to put them on. There'll be so much peace. We're also waiving certain oil-related sanctions.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, he's basically just saying it right there. So, can't hurt to pull that one down too. And I see we're getting towards the end of our time here, friends. So what I'll be doing in the meantime is I'll keep working on this, but I'm gonna go into my oh, let's see, what GPU do I have? I'm never mind. Yes, pay me money. Yeah, absolutely. The suit bullshit that pissed me off. Hey, Blair. We can use clips from mainstream. So this is perfect. You want to pop up on the? You want to talk for a sec and kind of help us? Let's see. We can use clips for. I'm gonna pull you up. I'm inviting you to chat with us for a sec. We can use clips. Yeah, what are you?
Hello.
What are you trying to say? What's up? Hey.
Howdy. Sorry, I'm voice to texting. So my message might have been a little bit complicated there.
It's okay.
But for certain things, he talks about it, he's kind of using minimizing language and it doesn't hit as hard. I think using either popular indicators or
you sound like a robot. You got to start over and just slow down a little bit. Go ahead.
Gotcha.
It's probably me.
When Trump speaks, I mean, I'm traveling like up the East Coast, so I believe it was me.
No
but
worries.
when Trump speaks about like things that are issues for him that he thinks aren't going to play politically well, a lot of times he's using minimizing language or speaking about them in ways that aren't going to hit as hard in the clip. So it might be better to use other people's commentary about this situation, whether that be a CNN reporter or even that being like a large-scale internet influencer.
Okay. I think that's a direction where, like, I'm hoping we can find, again, like you said, somebody saying the quiet part out loud, like that this is directly impacting the Russia-Ukraine war. Here's some information on that I can investigate. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to basically, let's use the last few minutes to kind of answer questions. If anybody has a project or media project they're working on and they're stuck or just have some thoughts or questions, this is more, the last few minutes are for you to let me know what you got going on, if you have any hurdles. And then what I'll do is I'm going to jump off and I'll pop into my server and I have like a watch me work little thing. So I'll put the link for that in the chat so you guys can, come hang out and watch me finish this project if you want. And that way afterwards, you can still see how the sausage is made. Of course, you can chime in, ask questions and stuff, but I won't be taking up the stage space because I think we have a hard stop at 9 because game night, it's 9:00 p.m. for me. Sorry. But there's a game stop or a game night coming up. So we'll have to stop in a few minutes. I do want to address Evil's question. He said, do you edit the clips to remove watermarks like the ABC logo and stuff like that? It really just depends. Honestly, by the time we throw this into from landscape to portrait mode, a lot of that'll be cut off anyway. And you can usually just either crop or scale the image so that you don't see that stuff. Excuse me. Sometimes it actually works for you and it looks pretty good. Like, I'm sorry, I got the hiccups really bad right now. But The Guardian, they do these really cool little animations and kind of circles and stuff. So sometimes those are really cool to keep because, it's less work for you. But it just depends on how it looks. But ultimately, if stuff gets chopped off, it's no big deal. Yeah, I feel like the chances that someone from Reuters or, the AP is going to come and be like, we're suing you because you're using our clip that, fuck them. It's not going to happen. You'll be all right. So, let's see. Oh, the link's expired. That's weird. All right, let me try again.
And is there a thread or something you're going to drop the VOD to this session?
Absolutely, yeah. So we'll it'll be up on the DGG YouTube, and I'll just post a link here so you guys can see this. Try is actually going to use this as sort of a test case. We're going to try to build a knowledge base. So anybody in the future who wants to understand how to find clips, what we've done today is shown you how to find clips, how to pull clips, and we've shown you some text-based editing tools. So, if anybody needs to see how those things are done, we've captured that really well today. But what we could possibly even do is do a part 2 on the whole long form to shorts process, and like next week we can go over the clipping and the overlaying and how to go from landscape to portrait, and some other tools you can use, how to do it on your phone. Like there's so many other things we could do to help you get to the finish line of becoming a good clipper. So for now, if are there any other questions? Are there projects that you're working on, or even something else that you see in request board that you're not really sure how to tackle that you want to talk through really quickly? Then go ahead and pop that in the chat, or feel free to pop over to my next little thing. Let me just invite you to my server. So I guess. Let's see. Okay. Somebody said we should make a conspiracy theory that Trump started war with Iran knowing it would drive up the price of oil, and use that as an excuse to ease sanctions on Russia, which was his ultimate goal. Complete schizo. But how is that schizo? How is that schizo? Like is that not what just happened? I mean, I think that the whole started the war with Iran thing is definitely okay. Let's keep our attention away from the Epstein files, the Trump Epstein files. Yeah, it's base schizo. Let's appease Netanyahu daddy. Let's start some shit because I feel like it. We have might makes right. I mean, literally, it was all the things. It was all the things. So it's just probably part of it. So no, yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a conspiracy theory. But I tell you what, friends, that's the end of my time with you today for Sophie's Subversion School. So what we're going to do is pop over to my channel, or you can stay here. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think game night is going to be starting soon. So that's with Kai, and she's amazing. So thanks, guys. I'll pop on over to my server, and I'll see you guys next Saturday. Thank you. All right. So I'm just going to pop over to my server, and we're just going to pop into watch me work. So if anybody is just curious about what I am doing. Hi, Stumbling.
Hello. Thought I'd pop by and say hi.
Oh, it's a lady.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Hi. Oh, you're who did the graphics for
Graphics.
You're like you're the dude. Like that's yes. You have like all the skills. I've seen your work. I'm very impressed with you. Let me just say.
No, you haven't.
No, so you're not who I'm thinking of. I'm sorry.
I am not who you think, but I'm sure they're really, really good. That is, I would love it to be me, but no. I am Food Shops. I'm one of Food Shop's head mods, and
oh, cool.
pragmatic papers writing a dark money piece and explaining why Taylor Lorenz's piece was shit, and we should expect better out of our journalists.
Yes,
I'm gonna have to
absolutely.
be part of it because I just posted in the general server here. I guess yesterday it was broken that there was another influencer who came out and said they were offered $1,500 to write to post something about Kat Abugaze, whatever her name is,
Mhm.
in Illinois, who's running for Congress. And it was like not directly like saying her name. It wasn't saying don't vote for her. It was saying go research these candidates and don't go with the one that's viral, right? The most viral name, right? And so that just broke yesterday, and so I'm gonna have to like add that to my.
Yes.
I wasn't supposed to write this.
No, that's wild. Well, listen, Saturdays.
I was supposed to edit. Not right, but that's okay.
No worries. But Saturdays is more for like media stuff. But on Wednesdays I do the weekly Wednesday writers workshop. So that might be
cool. That'd be great.
You might really enjoy that time because let me I'll give you the link for that. And hopefully this one works. But yeah. So every week we'll do like a writer's workshop where you can essentially, let me turn my camera. You can essentially let us know what you're working on. It's a 90-minute space to literally just zone out, focus, get your shit done. There's light chatter if you have questions or want to talk something through. Of course, that's always open. But then the last 15 minutes are if you want to share what you've done for feedback. It's just a beautiful little quiet time for all of us to work on some stuff. Like I'm working on a sci-fi project, but there's some people working on screenplays and some people working on biographies and all kind of different things. So really, whatever your flavor. So it sounds like it'd be really perfect for just trying to dedicate some time to get your articles done.
Yeah, I guess if I'm writing more, I volunteered to be an editor, and it just was. Destiny was going over the Taylor and stuff, and I kind of I have a master's degree in media studies, so I have kind of like this weird understanding.
Nice. That's awesome.
So I'm like, so I wanted to like, they're like, oh, we can co-author it. And I was like, okay, I'm totally down with like giving you pieces of information, but they're too busy. And so I'm writing the drama section because I understand the drama.
That's pretty amazing.
Because I'm terminally online.
Terminally. No, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming and for checking my stuff out. I mean, like what I'm trying to do right now really is just try to, like what you're doing, like you're finding the through line between, how Taylor Lorenz's piece is a reflection on like this weird cannibalistic journalistic mentality these days, especially when it comes to like left-leaning stuff. Like I can see the broader implications of what you're trying to show, and I think that's where I'm having a challenge right now. But no, what were you saying?
Yeah. It's just one of those things like when you understand, like you just use some logic, like all the contract stuff she wrote it in a way to make it sound scary when in reality, like it's probably just a basic contract because of the type of organization it is. They have to make sure that they're not paying for political stuff that they're not documenting.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's them being a good organization
and a good steward of the space, I think. So yeah, I saw nothing wrong with what they were doing. It wasn't, and also I think what she was attempting to do was to liken like what Chorus and all them were doing with what Tim Pool and all them were doing. Like they were receiving dark money. So just to even call it the same thing as if they're getting these millions and millions of dollars, like was insane to me. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. My critique is that dark money is too wide of a term, honestly, because when you look at Open Secrets and how they define dark money, yes, 501c4s are dark money. That's what dark money defines because they don't have to disclose their donors. But they also, when they give money stats, they also include the 501c4s that do disclose their donors. And so it's kind of like this: you got the information, but it's not completely clear. Plus, it's not really there are some bad 501c4s, and the LLCs are technically dark money when they donate to politics.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, technicality there is like, and so like here we have an organization that was actually a financial sponsor, which is very different from being someone who gave money. I don't know if they eventually gave money to Chorus, but like a financial sponsor is basically, hey, you can use our IN number while you're getting started, and we'll take donations on your behalf, but we're going to take a cut.
That's crazy. So tell me more about your piece.
He's in my phone. Ew.
Hello.
Hi, Tetrax.
Oh no.
How
can't hear you?
Yeah, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you, like, and what brought you here.
I'm Tetrax or Marco. I'm from Germany. I joined the Digital Ground Game server a few days ago.
Nice.
Originally I joined to scout, you could say, because I wanted to get more politically active in Germany, and you guys are light years ahead of us when it comes to this kinds of stuff. The things you're doing, organizations like this, basically don't really exist in Germany, at least not in any meaningful way. So I wanted to see how you're running things, what I could copy, what I could do over here. And then there was the announcement for the workshop, and I was just interested in the topic, so I joined.
Thank you. That's awesome. So, like, being in Germany, I feel like all we really see these days is how, like, Elon Musk is starting to have an influence. How is it AFD, yes. AFD, like how they're starting to bring about this sort of Western xenophobic, racist ideology back to Germany. Like, is it as bad in Germany as it is in America, where it's pretty much full-blown fascism again? Or are you seeing that the journey is possible for Germany? Or like, what's your political thermometer telling you?
I'd say the journey is very possible. There are two big differences currently that I would say are meaningful between how it looks in the US and in Germany right now. The first one is power, of course. The AfD is not in power, and the other parties are currently, they basically have like a pact to never work with the AfD.
Okay.
So even if there were general elections tomorrow and they got like 49%, all the other parties would most likely band together to keep them out of power. So they have power nowhere except basically the power that comes with having, I don't know what percentage of votes exactly right now.
Yeah.
So that's, I would say, is the first difference, but it's questionable how long that will hold, because the AfD is big since like 2015.
Oh, really?
Yes, since 2015 was when the Syrian refugee crisis happened. And the party was basically non-existent before. It was a completely different party. And then they shot up to like, I think it was 15% or something.
Wow. I didn't realize.
Since then they basically exist, and since then they're kept out of power. But since they are gaining and gaining, it is questionable how long that will hold. And the other thing is basically how they conduct themselves. They are not really different from MAGA. They are just currently pretending to have a bit more decency still. At least in their words, I'd say. But give it like 10 years and they will be indistinguishable from what MAGA is today.
I fully agree. That's so sad. Like, honestly, like, I think that's what's saddest to me about American MAGA is that it's such a reflection on my neighbors, like, yes, okay, whatever happens in politics is one thing, but the fact that these people are like, Trump is only there because so much of our country is so racist and so xenophobic and so bigoted, like, so it's just sad to me that, you know, I don't know, like that it's regular folks who are just as hateful. So I hate to see that
Exactly.
is happening in Germany too. Like I would like to think at least it's just some kind of thing that's, unique to America, but, so to see it happening in Germany, in France, in, oh my gosh, like I feel like, even like parts of Africa, like it's just nuts how much, this fear of the other is causing people to vote away their own rights, vote against their own interests.
Exactly.
It's scary. So I'm glad you're doing something about it. Like, what do you feel you're looking for to take back to, like, the German political arena from what our political action efforts are in America?
To describe it simply, I'd say exactly what we just did in the workshop, and exactly what the website is, I would say.
Okay.
Because what really fascinated me about the website were, obviously, I think it's the main contents, the talking points repository and the call to actions.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if it could be basically put in that bucket of what we're fighting against, if you could say it like that, it is, I would say, it is these populist movements that are very appealing to emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Like what MAGA is doing, what all the xenophobic stuff is doing. And I think what the big challenge everywhere, as you have described today, is kind of like once people are captured by this anger, it feels like the only thing that can get to them is more anger. And you can't break the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like things like the talking points repository, to give an example, when the AfD first got big, when the refugee crisis happened in 2015,
Mm-hmm.
basically the main talking point, of course, was like this whole, there are so many refugees, we're giving them too much money. Look what we can't afford because we're giving all our money to refugees that are coming into the country. But then I live in a small village. Everybody here, basically, besides me, is an AfD voter.
Oh no!
The village has a bit of a Nazi problem.
Oh God!
Even
I'm sorry.
So, this was when I was becoming politically conscious. The first time I was like 17 or 18 at the time, I think. And then,
well,
so this was the
how old are
talking
you
point.
now?
Everybody was repeating it.
How old are you now?
I'm 28 now.
Okay, but go ahead. It's something everybody was repeating.
It's something that everybody was repeating, but then if you ask people how much, not how much, but what are refugees that come into the country actually getting, and how much money do we actually pay for the whole refugee thing, nobody could give me any accurate answer. I think in the last 10 years, I have not heard one person give me correct numbers on that. But everybody's repeating the talking point and has strong opinions about something that they have clearly never even typed into Google.
Right.
So it's obviously just an emotional reaction, but you need ways to counter that, I think.
You do.
And I think what you're doing is really good for that.
Oh, thank you so much. And I know you mean you as in digital ground game, but I appreciate you looking at the groundwork. Like I think it does start with using our voices, reaching out to our neighbors. Keeping your circle as tight as you can. With making sure you're speaking truth, reading truth, researching, understand what's going on. I feel like what you're saying is so similar to what I'm experiencing here in the UK, where I just was at that debate between Destiny and Constantine Kissin, and
That was a bit painful. I watched some of it.
It was like, I liked it because I think it exposed the fact that, Constantine Kissin can present himself as this intelligent, well-meaning, just asking questions. I'm actually not a right-winger sort of a guy. but I think Destiny laid all that bare. Like, no, you're just a bigot. You're just a very unintelligent, childish, immature, hateful person. And I think he laid that out so well. So, but I mean, it also lifts up the that similarity between how the masses view like immigration and, you know, even what you're saying as far as the asylum seekers and things like that, like people who really need this help and need these services and stuff, they're not receiving the level of services or money that people think they are. And also the issue in the UK is that if you ask like your regular British citizen what percentage of immigrants are illegal, they think it's like 55% when it's really more like 1 to 3. I think the high end of that maybe 15%, but it's really like 1 to 3% are illegal immigrants. Everybody else is going through the process or seeking asylum or going through a legal avenue. And so it's like the ire that they put on illegal immigrants was just fair. I mean, we should have borders and protect them and make sure we know who's coming in our country. And so, sure. But to say that that's the majority of the people coming over is ridiculous. And so, but that's just the commonly held view. So it sounds like it's very similar to how people just don't do the research. They just hear that talking point and suddenly they espouse it and it's a fact for them.
Of course.
You know, so I hate to see that happening, especially in other places of around Europe, because I found this to be such a beautiful respite. It's like an oasis over here compared to America. So, you know, I don't want to see us go down that train any further. So thanks for being here. Thanks for seeking out, you know, ways to try to mitigate it in your own, you know, corner of the world. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, thanks for doing it.
No, thanks.
About the immigration and versus illegal immigration thing, I don't even think that's something they actually care about.
No, it's not.
I think Konstantin even said it in his debate. They claim to care about illegal immigration and state that as a big problem. But when a discussion shifts from being strictly about that, he'll also bring up the talking points like the 50 times increase of immigration in general.
Right.
So whenever they say something tangentially to that, it becomes very clear that they think all immigration is a problem, but they can't outwardly say it as much. So they just harp on the illegal thing.
Well, I feel like that was another way that Destiny sort of, you know, revealed who he was, because he got him to say that.
Absolute number to compare it to.
Well, also he got him to say that it was about the culture and that they are not assimilating and that the white British population is declining compared to, you know, so he got him to admit the quiet part out loud, which I thought was masterful. So yeah, I mean, I feel like
and all of that has nothing to do with legality of
course not,
right?
Of course not. So it's just, you know, and then if you even press him further on it, he's like, oh, it's not that I don't want any immigrants, which it is, but he's like, I just, you know, we want people from Hong Kong, you know, and other parts of, you know, Europe, like basically like white people, no Africans, no Indians, anybody brown. That's what he doesn't want. So I think, again, it was just another way to corner him into, you know, telling the truth, which he just found so difficult to do. So I see how you could look at that debate and see Konstantin argue that he was being interrupted when he wasn't, and that he couldn't get an argument out, which he did, and that he couldn't, that he was being attacked by Destiny for Destiny asking him to define his words.
What he means by culture is.
Yeah, exactly. Or what do you mean? What do you mean by how is culture different, or what are the differences that you're saying have happened? You know, like, so I mean, I feel like those are very simple things, but to feel attacked by that and to be so vociferous about it was what I think somebody from the outside looking in could say, oh, wow, this debate is a shit show. He's not engaging, and Destiny's being argumentative, and he's not letting him talk because he was like, oh, you're interrupting me. I can't. So I feel like if you just looked at it from the outside in, you would probably believe Konstantin's narrative that he was trying to draw. That it was this really difficult thing for him to get a word in edgewise, but it wasn't. So I encourage you to watch it in full, watch it again, check it out again. Don't get caught up in the fact that the actual the debaters, or one in particular, was so childish that it kind of derailed the conversation. But it comes back around, and I think some things are said that are really important in the broader discourse, especially as it pertains to immigration and asylum seekers and yeah. So all that's really important. But I don't know. Is that
my problem with the debate was not really that it derailed in that kind of way. I enjoyed watching that. The problem was more Konstantin just being who he is and LARPing what he LARP said and knowing people eating it up.
Oh, got it. Oh gosh, yeah, I was there.
And I think the Rogan thing after was kind of disgusting.
I only saw clips of that, and that was insane. Something. What did you think? You saw that?
I just saw what was shown on Destiny's stream. I'm thinking like he went on. They wouldn't say his name, and they were just kind of criticizing. It was just really cringe.
Very cringe.
You got your ass handed to. You thought you were walking into something, and you just wasn't prepared.
Yeah, it was an open book test. All the questions, there were 3 questions. They were publicly displayed. They were developed by Konstantin's team, because Destiny was like, I don't give a shit, whatever you want to ask. And he still seemed like he was a deer in headlights when it came to the questions. I do not understand how that was possible. Yeah, it was nuts. And then to see like the work that Destiny put in, like it was like 2 weeks ahead, and he was doing research, and he's on stream showing what he's looking at and all that. And so I wonder what Konstantin was doing that whole time. Like, what were you doing this whole time? It was nuts. But Tetrax,
so like those guys were just vibe
basically
debating.
Yeah. But what Tetrax was saying is, as far as like the audience, or like the Konstantin fans like eating that shit up, I think that was what was so demoralizing for me, was like, because I was there, so I got to see how after Konstantin was just mollywopped, like had the floor wiped with him, there were still people coming up like, oh, thank you for saying what needs to be said. I really appreciate your voice out here, Konstantin. And it's like, damn, y'all are idiots. Like,
even though bro just kind of said nothing.
Yeah, like exactly. Like, what is it that he said that you were so happy or pleased with? I don't get it. Like, I would, if that was my guy, I'd have been like, ugh. I would have felt some sort of way. But it's just they hate the same things, and so they have to have each other's back, I guess. It was just really sad to see. It was really sad to see. But out of all the people that came to talk to both of them, there were maybe like, for every 50 people there to talk to Destiny, it was like 1 for Konstantin. So that was nice that, the numbers were in our favor, if you will. But I don't know. Just crazy times.
Konstantin is also like huge on YouTube, right? I didn't know who he was before.
Yeah, he's got that podcast Trigonometry. It's like one of the top 5. I'm pretty sure it's very popular. On Spotify, I'm thinking. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm such a weird. I'm in a weirdly ambivalent place because I genuinely don't see how America's gonna pull out of this one or recover from this, but I still feel very compelled to do what I can, to make videos and help people, use their voice. And yes, let's go vote and let's get people, doing phone banking. And I believe in all those things, but I just still feel like at the end of the day, like, how do we come back from this? How do you come back from any of this? Just in a Schrodinger's box. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like you're in a good place, Trex, because you can, if you guys can have more of a ground roots impact on your political system, then we were able to. Hopefully, you can nip this shit in the bud, But I don't know. I feel like America. I feel like they've reached the tipping point. Say that again. Sorry.
The free speech stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like I like the idea of free speech, and when it was originally presented in the Constitution, was definitely a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that certain spaces need to be regulated, and it's going to be really hard to convince people here.
I think so too. I
mean, I don't want really to, but at the same time, like there are people who are using social media platforms for propaganda, and they're lying, and they're willing to lie.
Yeah. That's sad.
And it's annoying.
It is.
Yeah. And so we'll probably, I don't know what's going to happen. When I look at it, I'm older, by the way. I'm like 47, so
I'm 43.
46.
We're in the same.
I'm 46, so it's sort of like I think about like my.
I'm sorry. Wait, you didn't
was live.
You didn't know if you were 46 or 47.
I'm gonna be 47 this year, and like
you're like me.
This is my 50s. My brain is like fried.
No, I'm the same. I'm old. I have to think about it. I literally have to say, oh wait, it's 2026. I have not had my birthday yet, so I am 43. Okay, so I have to literally think about it. But yeah, it's just funny to meet somebody who's
nice
experiencing that too. No, and I think we're in a unique position because we've seen some shit, and we're women, we've seen some shit. So like it's wild to like
we see change in a way that's crazy.
Yeah, but we're seeing these children with so much hope and optimism, and I don't want them to lose that. But I've seen some shit, and I don't know how we get back from this. But what are your thoughts on that? I feel like I interrupted you.
I just think that when I remember like what things were like.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the 80s, very little, but like in the 90s as a teenager, when I was coming of age, like you could trust the news. And it wasn't until like the late 90s, early 2000s that we were like, maybe Fox News is really crazy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It wasn't like a switch, but there was a point where you were just sort of like, realize that they're lying over there.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I was calling them on it, and like the talk radio stuff, like it just has changed so much. And like I remember, like people used to know if they said something, they had to own it.
Mm-hmm.
Online, you can be anonymous and you can say stuff, or you can hire someone to be anonymous for you.
This incredible mold remover gel can
like even sort of like the AI stuff, like it's all like making you feel like conspiracy theories, and it's just kind of crazy sometimes.
Oh god, yeah, like I don't know. And then the whole thing with the OpenAI, I was talking about it a little bit in the stream, but like it is still, just so you guys know, like it's still streaming. Like I'm just not on the Discord anymore, so FYI. But yeah, I don't know what to do as far as the ChatGPT thing, because I rely on it so much for a lot of my research. But then oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, as long as you're not
okay.
Do you pay premium?
I was, and then I was like, fuck that, after all the news about how it's basically been given to the Pentagon. Right. So yeah, so I don't pay premium anymore. I've downloaded all of my chats. And I'm working with Gemini now, but that's still, who knows what's gonna happen with that? That's Google. Who knows? So I know they have some that are where you can kind of use them on your machine, or they're just machine based. So I might go that route. But then I'm like, okay, my fear is twofold. Like, first, it's just morally, like, I don't want to support anything that, is just so soulless and evil and wants to work with an administration that's so soulless and evil. So that's one thing. But then secondly, like, I talk a lot of shit about Trump and MAGA, and I'm doing research into how it's basically a parallel to the Weimar Republic tracks. And so, like, I feel like I could. Oh, say what now?
Sorry.
No, would you say something?
I was just saying, do you want to write an article about that?
No, I have like a whole series. Like it's literally 3 parts. So I have Today in the Fourth Reich, and that's like my monthly. It's all pre-production for these 2 things, but Today in the Fourth Reich is where we liken what's happening to literally the Weimar Republic before Hitler took it over and instituted fascism in the very same way that Trump is doing. Like everything, like assassination attempts and huge events. They had their own J6, like literally, like their parents are similar. Like literally, there's so many connections with that. So that's that. And then I have a show called Führerkreis, which is going to be about how like individuals in Trump's administration and how they're similar to individuals in Hitler's circle. And so likening, like Stephen Miller to Goebbels and Bannon to whoever else. I have like all these connections. So that's that. But then my daily show is Trump Charge. So literally, every day we're like saying, okay, this is a crime that Donald Trump has committed. These are the ramifications of that. If we were in a real world scenario where people's crimes were actually, convicted or adjudicated. So that's a lot of shit that I've been funneling through Chat GPT. So I'm like, okay, if there's ever going to be a target on anybody's back from, them looking at their customers and what they're saying in private, essentially, that's probably going to be on me quite a bit. But I, have to say,
they're always listening now.
Yeah, and I feel like this, but then just to know that there's a direct connection between your data and the Pentagon now, like, it's not
I
good.
think the other thing about like Google is like Google was around long before Trump and will probably be around long after Trump.
Hey, Trey.
Whereas OpenAI is kind of desperate right now. So
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, is it good to go to Gemini, who also, I'm sure, already has several government contracts? So
well, I don't know. Their workers are unionized, so they're a little more.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little more democratic. I don't know. They've had people walk out before on military use of their technology. So.
Oh, interesting.
The whole thing.
That's good to know.
I don't know. I mean, I rank Google as one of the better tech oligarchs, but they're still, a tech oligarch. I mean, they're not really an oligarch, right, as a company. So one of our better corporate overlords. But they're still a thing. They're not. They have decided not to be evil anymore. So take that for what it's worth.
Sophie, I googled it. OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, xAI, and Palantir all have contracts with the government.
Mm-hmm. But Gemini doesn't? Or you said Google?
It just says Google there. It doesn't say Gemini or not.
Well, it's, yeah.
The question we have to ask is what contracts they have. Google has contracts with the Defense Department.
Right. Like that could just mean that they buy Google Drive or something, right?
You're right. You're right.
Yes. I specifically asked about AI, so I'm hoping that it'd be like Google has an AI, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
So Sophie. Oh, sorry.
No, it's
these contracts you can expect to have accepted what the DoD and the Department of War, is wanting to do with it, because Anthropic left
Don't let them
because they
fucking change it. It's still the DoD. They haven't officially changed the name.
Right. Oh, Department of War.
it was a slip. You're just pointing out how ridiculous it is, right? It's ridiculous. Why did they change the
Yes.
fucking name? It's ridiculous.
So
That's what they meant. That's
stupid.
what fucking Pam Bondi meant by the Dow. It was the Department of
Oh, snap. Exactly. The Dow is at 50,000. Oh my God.
So, but that
Sorry,
affected
something
all
I
of their.
keep interrupting you. You can finish your point. I'm
That's all
sorry.
right.
No, it's good.
So it affected all of the contracts that Anthropic had throughout the federal government. So they removed all of it.
Yeah.
But their main sticking point, two sticking points that they had, was they didn't want to let the government do mass surveillance, and they didn't want, anything that they didn't want AI to shoot weapons, and specifically nuclear weapons and ballistic weapons. And so those two
Yeah.
things are very concerning to hear that.
Yes.
So and I found out about it because let's see how the best way to say this, because I know somebody who works for a place that works with the Department of Energy, and they had to switch from Claude to something else. They were like, and it just happened over the weekend, and they were like, "Hey, look at this!"
Wow. So like real
Was that
world.
wait, really? I work for the Department of Energy indirectly.
You do? No,
we'll see how
they're
that goes.
well. It's a national lab, so they're not.
I'm in the same. Wait, I'm in literally the same situation. I mean,
yeah.
I think we've actually talked about this. Anyway, different labs have different policies and different level of control.
Yeah. I mean, since this is being recorded on stream, I didn't want to be very specific. Usually I'm pretty open about it. But
Yeah.
I just want to keep it kind of.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I mean, as a pseudo government employee, I don't want my face out there right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to be.
Yeah. So FYI, don't.
No, it's fine. I mean, I don't think my voice is that distinctive, but
No, but
I'd
I
be
hear
curious
you.
which lab you worked at, because I'm always interested.
Well, what were you going to say earlier, Try? I feel like you had a pertinent thought.
One was just I feel like Miller is much more like Himmler, and then Bannon would be Goebbels. But
yeah. I have like my whole little list.
I guess I had a brainwave for the Iran video, which was like, we do, Americans get killed, and then Zelensky sends people to help, and then we show Ukrainians getting killed, and then Trump, loosens Russian sanctions, and whatever. And then it was something like, is selling out our allies really America first? As the final, punchline. But I don't know if that's exactly what Blair wants, but I think that it's a nice little AB, punchline structure.
I feel like that's got the deeper implications of the loss of life, Like, I think for this in particular, it's more so to lift up the fact that that Trump has literally just handed Russia the war. So just making that through line just incredibly clear and salient. And I think that's what this effort is. But what you're saying is necessary too, because it's about loss of life. It's about Trump yet again and yet another instance betraying the American people.
I mean, to be clear, I don't think he's handed Russia the war. I think the Ukrainians will pull through eventually. But
I mean, if they can hold out, but yeah.
Well, they're not holding out. They're actively taking back land right now. They just took more land in Russia or took more land back than Russia was able to conquer in February. So,
well,
they are doing well.
No, that's great to know, because I don't know the particulars. I need to. Again, that's where this research comes in.
So the mainstream narrative has always been pretty pessimistic about Ukraine.
It has, and I feel like that's what I'm eating hook, line, and sinker. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I trust online that are much more, not super optimistic. Like, they're not like, Ukraine's going to win in a month, but they're more like, Ukraine has already exceeded expectations like a billion times over. And there's a lot of structural things in play. Like for one thing, they have the whole EU behind them. Right? So they have allies, whereas Russia is kind of on their own. And they're being extremely innovative. They're developing drones that are way more effective than anything that even NATO had like 5 years ago. Out of necessity, right? Like they've been incredibly innovative about that. And Russia's trying to keep up, and so they're also doing their own thing. But like at the end of the day, drones can't hold territory, and Russians are the ones trying to take territory. But also within the last few months have been the first couple months where Russia has lost more soldiers than they were able to recruit, which means Ukraine is actively shrinking their army.
Yeah,
so,
didn't know
that's
that.
something that like
Didn't know that.
yeah, that's
Okay.
something that Russia might be able to fix if they can, go back to offering, $1 million bonuses to everybody. But at the end of the day, like a lot of people who had a price have already been bought, right?
Good
so
point.
at
Good
the end of the day,
point.
there's a lot of people who don't want to risk their life for any amount of money. And
Great
so
point.
especially, since most people are dying. So like it might help in some ways, but at the end of the day, you can't just, drop a lot of money on a country and expect it to, capitulate.
Well, with this piece, though, I'm curious if we just like, I appreciate that information. It makes me feel a lot better. But I'm wondering if we still treat this piece as though we're presenting it to the general populace of America, who does.
I mean, I think I think what we do, I think the line is just this money will fund drones that will hit Ukrainian civilians.
But
regardless of how well they're doing on the battlefield, Putin has been shooting bombs at civilians, and he needs to pay for those somehow.
But I also feel like the stronger message of Trump is trying to hand the war to Russia. Like, yes, although there's that, hopefully that's not being played out in reality, but I think that's what the American people don't seem to realize. Yeah.
I think otherwise it lends the right wingers easy wins, right? They can just be like, no, it's actually good for Russia or it's actually good for Ukraine or whatever. I mean, they're not always smart enough to take them, but like, I don't want to do something where informed people will disagree with us. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So is it more that we should? Because again, I'm happy with strong language, but I agree that it needs to be factual. So can we say something along the lines of, this move is, like you said, putting more power in Russia's hands, or directly funding the Russian side of this war.
This money will fund the death of more Ukrainian civilians.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to go hard. I want to go hard, but I don't want to. Yeah, I agree. And not that I think that any fucking right winger ever is going to be like, oh, well, the nuanced approach is that the war is actually, like, we're not going to get that. But
I mean, some left wingers, right? Like touch might or whatever.
Yeah, see, that's what it is. That's who you have to worry about. Exactly, the left wingers. So yeah, I agree. But I do want to have a hard statement on it.
No, I think I think that's what Blair was going for with look at the documentary, because I think it has a lot of footage of just civilian buildings burning
and civilians running in to help them with the firemen and the EMTs. I think that's beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just looking through some of this news stuff. Before I say anything, stumbling, I feel like I cut you off. Were you talking?
Oh, no, I was just going to say that the message that you were sending when you said, like, okay, this is what, Ukraine did for us, which by sending their experts to help us with what we're doing in Iran. And then, like, now we're doing something that is, like, kicking them in the back. So it still works. Because even if they're doing well, you don't, like, try to strengthen someone's enemy that that they're fighting, especially superpower, former superpower like Russia that could use the money.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
Can I ask a question about this?
Yeah, of course.
Shoot.
When you're doing pieces like this, how much do you think about the target audience that you're trying to reach? Because when the message is basically option one is Trump doing this will fund more Russian drones killing more Ukrainians, I feel like that will help activate the people that already agree with you. Because if you're saying Trump is handing Russia the war, I don't think people on the right particularly care about that, right? Because Trump's day one said he will end the war. I don't think he cares about Ukraine winning the war. If this makes the war end quicker, they might even agree with that sentiment.
Oh, that's a very good point. That's a very good
there
point.
are people who make the argument that by supporting Ukraine, we're just making more Ukrainians die because we're prolonging the war, which is ridiculous because Russia's been full of genocidal freaks for a long time, but that is a counter narrative.
And some people do fall for the narrative of Zelensky being just greedy, trying to take the lost land back and prolonging the war on his side because he gets the Western support.
Right.
Which is ignoring the constant bombing of civilians, but whatever.
Yeah.
Excellent point. It's also very sad. Sad, but that's a very good point. Yeah, it's disturbing.
I mean, if you want to keep it just focused on the actual like Ukraine bit of people dying, and we don't need the extra distraction of the stuff, that's fine. But either way, it's a useful thing to know about. I'm trying to think I'm trying to think what right wingers even do fucking care about in Russia, Ukraine, right?
Well, I think it's like Track
I guess that's where like they care about Americans dying, right? Ukraine is working to save American lives, so that is one argument for putting that in. Is they're saying like Ukrainians care about us? Why don't we care? Why aren't we helping them? Or the Ukrainians are supporting us? Why won't we support them? Right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like
and I think that
I'm hearing it all. I'm trying to put it all like my process, and I'm sure if you ask 10 different producers, like they'll have 10 different answers, but my process is one of just get it all, get everything, and then know what your base is. So I feel like our base is always going to be this documentary and the violence that we're showing, like you said, especially on civilian buildings and things like that. That's the underline, that's the through line, and then on top of that we can present this additional context to the narrative we're trying to illustrate. So I'm happy with, in the final piece might be better without adding this in, but I think it could be strengthened. So let's try it. And so I'm happy to entertain everything, and then we'll see how the final thing shapes up. So I appreciate the input. So just saying that to say, like, your ideas are heard and definitely want to implement. The only one I feel like was taking us too far out of scope was looking at the loss of life, especially with trying to bring in the Iranian war. I think in the context of what Ukraine is doing for us versus what we're doing for them or not, is still in scope. But the loss of life thing, I think it'd be stronger as a separate piece, in my opinion. But yeah, but I do hear you, and I do appreciate literally every piece of feedback, because honestly, it is a challenge when you're given a request and it is super nebulous or super wide open. Like, I appreciate that, like, Blair is trusting the team because he put it out to everybody, not just me. He trusts our team that we can deliver what his ideation is, so that's a beautiful thing. But it does make it a little more challenging. So yeah, thank you for the help. So with that, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think I might need to take a nap pretty soon, so I'm gonna hop off. But
yeah, no, thank you for the feedback and
posting, and let me know if you need any help for figuring out what to do next time.
Okay. No, thank you so much.
Yep. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Try.
Bye, take care.
He's so sweet. Yeah, he's who recommended that we look at this particular request. So happy to try to get it done. Yeah, I mean, so just in case you guys were curious about what I'm up to, like that's really all I'm trying to do is trying to find the things I can overlay, like the commentary from, in particular, this one, where if he's talking about like how these sanctions being lifted is directly impacting Ukraine. So let's see, because I think he gets into that pretty early.
Ukraine, the latest. Today, as President Zelensky arrives in France for talks with Emmanuel Macron, Britain's Defence Secretary says the hidden hand of Vladimir Putin is behind Iranian drone strikes on British troops and allies in the Middle East. We report on the US move to further ease sanctions on Russia to allow all countries, not just India, to buy Russian oil, a decision Britain's energy minister says will allow the Kremlin to fix some of their ailing economy. And we hear how a Moscow man's love of Domino's pizza ended in a 3-year court battle.
Okay. So I think we want to get to this segment more than the Domino's thing. So let's see. This doesn't seem exactly
we believe
right.
that easing sanctions now, for whatever reason, would be wrong. We will not allow our Ukraine support to be distracted or dissuaded by the war in Iran. Now, contrasting responses within EU institutions speak to the different approaches taken on these.
Hey, it's German. It's Germany. So he's saying that this won't be a distraction for their assistance to Ukraine. I'm looking more so for the talking point of this action is directly going to make things more difficult for Ukraine.
The decision by the US to lift sanctions, very concerning. But in these situations, there's always one heroine we can count on to say it as it is.
Oh, God.
Brussels foreign policy chief, Kaya Kallas. She never lets us down. She said the administration wants to divide Europe in Washington. She said, adding, if you read the national security strategy of the US and the national defense strategy, there shouldn't be any illusions. Now, in a sign of just how much she grates Moscow, it's not former President Medvedev.
All right. All right, this might be it. There's actually not that much evidence that the attempt to temper the oil prices by lifting restrictions is actually having any effect. Huh. Like on the pricing? On the pricing, so no. Last one. Can find these production sites. Technology that can easily be placed under sanctions will certainly not quickly replace this. Be much more. Yeah, I think the first one was closest, but it's still not. It's not really on the nose.
I gotta go. My family's back from the zoo, but nice chatting with you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, and thank you for joining. Really appreciate it.
I'll see you around.
Bye, Sibling.
Bye, take care.
She's doing a lot of writing for Pragmatic Papers, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully she can join us on Wednesdays.
Oh, that's cool.
More focused on the writing. Yeah.
I'll maybe be in the thing as well, in the workshop for writing.
Nice. What are your writing goals?
None in particular.
Just trying to get some space for putting some pen to paper.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's what it's for. Like this, I'm trying to, I guess, show the process I use for creating something. But the Wednesday thing's definitely more for you to veg out, just eke out the time to focus on something you're passionate about. So that's pretty neat. Maybe this could
We believe that
suffice.
easing sanctions now, for whatever reason, would be wrong. We will not allow our Ukraine support to be distracted or dissuaded by the war in Iran.
I think him saying "we believe" at the beginning might be too weak.
Yeah, I think just
It's
the
unnecessary weakening down of the language.
agreed. I think just the we will not allow our Ukraine support to be distracted or dissuaded is probably the strongest. Okay. I think I gotta do it in to out. That's so tiny compared to this. It's probably there already. Okay. Let's get these. Yeah, we want this stuff. We just cut it. Ugh, sorry. Let's do this. Also, do I have a short? I have a short. So Ukraine. Let me do this. I'm gonna actually use this as my basis just for the the size. So then I can move this.
What do you mean
stuff
by the
over.
size?
Like I want a vertical view.
Oh, I see.
So instead of trying to go in and change the settings and shit, I'm just gonna use this one. So now I can just grab what we already did, pop it here, and hit fill, and it kind of instantly gives you the size you need. I want to try to keep all of the. It's really going to end up being like B-roll on this track. Then I can use my track mixer to keep the audio as low as possible. So let's go back and just get more of this.
Do you want to have some audio in the background or just?
Oh yeah. You
have
do.
the voiceover.
No, you want some of that bomb.
Mm-hmm.
You want some of that in the background, but as we get the other tracks over it, we can use just our track mixer to, keep it as low as possible just on this B-roll track. So let me just, Just gonna pull more from here.
Armed with cluster munitions into the state administration building that you see behind me here in Kharkiv. This would kill 25 people and leave another estimated 35 wounded.
Good Lord.
The site of this attack would strike people in this now infamous footage.
That's horrible. I've never seen this before.
Another estimated 35 wounded. The site of this attack would strike.
Yikes. So here's a situation where like he's talking over it, so we might want to actually like I'm unlinking them by hitting Command L, so I can literally just take that out, and we can just have that same we can either duplicate it or find a different like bombing sound or whatever to have over that, but it will be so ambient anyway, it might not matter. So the big thing is just getting the kind of clips we want to use for now, and then we'll sort of figure out the rest as we go.
I see.
Stopped.
Yeah. Oh boy. Good Lord.
That's crazy.
Ooh, boy. Oh my God.
I feel like this would work with the through line that I laid out in my message in the workshop thing. Because if you basically say this is what's happening, Trump lifting the sanctions will make Russia X money, which translates to X more of these missiles. So we're causing X more of these things to happen.
I like that. You know what? Can you
that you've just seen? I feel like that's strong emotionally.
Can you do me a big favor, if you don't mind? While I'm pulling these clips, can you find that information? Like, especially if there's like one article or a website that literally just associates what each weapon costs or how much money they're going to get, just something so we can like quickly like insert those figures, because I agree, that's really impactful, because it's that direct line between the Russian money going toward, this missile, that drone. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for it. I have an article here that says how much money Russia's gonna make from this, but I think, if I'm reading this correctly, this information is from Zelensky, so I don't know if we want to put it in there.
We'll see.
Might appear too biased.
Oh gosh, I don't care about bias at this point.
This is gonna. I'll send you the link.
No, thank you.
I put it here in chat of this channel, okay?
Thank you. Let me check that out. This one's off to the right, so I need to just move that over some.
I just send you the direct quote as well, so you don't have to look for it.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, that's crazy. This might be a little traumatizing, like watching all this stuff. Goodness, the easing alone, but the United States could provide Russia. Spend some money. Yep. Exactly. That's
If
exactly
you really
right.
want to activate every left-leaning person after just watching that footage, you should put at the very end just the soundbite of JD Vance saying, "Have you ever said thank you?" in that one interview.
Oh, I like
In
it.
one talk with Zelensky. Because everybody
Yeah.
already has an emotional connection to that. Everybody's already pissed when they hear that soundbite.
I love it.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in
This is it right here.
your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said thank
stupid
you.
president, $350
I
billion.
think that's after that, right?
For your president.
It's just before it actually, but
Oh, it's before it? Okay.
but I just got the one that was like
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today,
have you said thank
even
you?
today.
You went
There
to
it is.
Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposite.
I found that too, but I think that starts 1 second too late, right? It's not a famous song.
This is
Have you ever said thank you?
You said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No,
Oh, the
in this
have is
entire
after
meeting,
that.
have
Oh,
you
yeah.
said thank
Even
you?
Yeah, that's
today.
yeah, it's just cut up. If I could just find one that's got all of it, because this is the one I did, and this is longer. So this probably has all of that.
Arriving in Gaza after months of hardship, loss, and endurance.
Yeah, maybe just control
What's
F
your
there. Have you said
message
thank you?
for them?
I'll be right back. 2 minutes, then I'm looking for the info on what the missiles cost.
Sure. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Back to
respect to
you.
your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting, have
today.
you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October, off
So, going okay, I hope.
What's your message for them?
Girl.
That's a site that lists out the Russian missiles and what
Here's
they
the thing.
cost.
I'm not about shaming people who voted for Trump and are now sitting here saying this isn't what I want. This isn't okay. What we're looking at happening, not okay. But I've made videos calling out the people who did. Here's the thing. I'm not about shaming people who voted for Trump and are now sitting here.
Yeah. So sorry.
That's a few million per missile. If it's true what Zelensky says about 10 billion additional funds for the war, that's a whole lot of missiles.
Wow. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. They're not that expensive. And then to
They're
get
really not, yes.
good Lord, this is horrifying, quite frankly.
But on the other side, 10 billion additional money from lifting the sanctions
Yeah, this
from
is-
the US doesn't even sound unbelievable. I think the number might actually be pretty accurate.
Yeah, that's very conservative, considering. And they're talking about these are temporary sanctions, but yeah, I can't say that I believe everything that Trump says or does. Okay, I think
Did
this
you mean
is
that the sanctions are temporary or lifting the sanctions is temporary?
that lifting them is temporary.
Oh, okay.
So, but again, I don't see how that's true. All right, here's how we're gonna do this. I think. Let me find this clip of him saying this, that this easing alone. I think that would be the.
Unfortunately, the language also wasn't strong. I think he said we're lifting
Ukrainian President
some
Volodymyr
oil-related
Zelensky
sanctions.
This is AI, yeah.
Zelensky says U.S. decision to ease oil sanctions could.
Maybe just AI filtered though.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find somebody. Like I see that this is a quote here, but it doesn't say where the quote is from. Or maybe it does.
True.
Does it have Zelensky said when, said where? Oh shit, here we go. Listen to the article now. Is it somebody just reading that though?
Are you looking for the source or are you looking if Zelensky actually said that?
No, I was trying to find
According to
him
this article.
if there was a video of him saying it, because then we could just
Oh,
lift that for our piece. I was trying to see if this was more of like a the author reading or if there was a clip of that, but usually they'll say at the war correspondents meeting, Zelensky said, so I'm just wondering where they got this quote from. Move. And also they reference him. It just says Zelensky said. Typically they'll have like a full. Okay, this is that.
I have the quote in the speech.
Yeah.
U.S. lifts sanctions on Russian oil already loaded onto tankers, equal to 5 to 6 days worth of normal shipments.
Okay, that's AI. So you are the man. Thank you. Let's see if we can.
Serious dictation was
clip
driving
that
me
out.
crazy, so I switched to whisper flow. Here's why I'll never go back. First off,
Could give it's Russia not audio translated though.
$10 billion for the war.
Oh, it is? No.
Oh, amazing. That's perfect. So let
We
me.
are hearing signals that this is the situation, but in my view,
Oh, the
logic
audio
is
track is in
completely
English for you.
different.
Ah, that makes sense.
It's in the fact that Russia is spending this money on weapons, drones primarily, which are massively striking Ukrainians. And as we already see from intelligence reports, these same drones are being used against the neighbors countries in the Middle East. And
It's
also some
the
against
translation,
Europeans and Americans
I'm gonna
whose
guess.
presence is at various bases there. Therefore,
The original video is
if
in
lifting
Ukrainian.
sanctions just so more drones fly at you later, in my opinion, is not the right decision. Bombardier. Just this one concession from America could give Russia about $10 billion for the war.
Okay, that's it then. That's perfect.
But it's the AI auto translation. Is that okay?
Yeah, if it's attached to the video, like if it's burned to the video, then that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. Because again, I'm lifting the audio anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect, or it doesn't have to be him even. Let's see. So my thinking, to see maybe you can understand what I'm looking to do. I want like I love what you're saying as far as commentary, the thank you thing especially, and then showing the result of it, showing the bomb. So I think I want to have over the bombing overlaid over that will be, have you said thank you once? You can't wear a suit, like all that kind of going on over the bombing. And then there will be visuals. So, because you could see the actual fucking missiles, I want there to, I want to track a text thing next to it that shows $5 million, $3.2 million,
That's also good, yes.
And then literally, have that $10 billion context added to it. So I think this will be a great way to kind of marry everybody's thoughts, tries, yours, and what Blair is intending for this. So this should be really good. Let's see if we can pull it off. So I think we have the pieces now. We're getting there. So I'm gonna I want to maybe clip this out. There's a really easy way to do that. You can go to like cut scene edit detection right here, and apply a cut at each detected point. So I'm just gonna let it do that for me for these. And then I want to interstitch. And in my head, I'm debating, should I do the audio for each, or should I just do the should I do the audio for each, or should I just do the voiceover, or like a video interstitching over? So let me get the things first. And right now we're still well under like a minute of footage, so that's fine. So okay. I'm excited because I think we're getting there. I think all the pieces are coming together here. So Trump, Vance, thank you.
But is it maybe better to only use the have you said thank you once from the Vance clip? Because, I mean, the suit thing, if I was somebody who agreed with Vance there, then I would see this and then think, Okay, look at all this destruction in his country, and he's still just not taking this seriously and wearing a suit.
Well, I'll
I feel like they would go against the point a bit.
Well, I'm even thinking that the Ukrainians are sending experts might be an interesting one to start it off with, and then have the thank you thing, and then have where Trump is like, we're going to lift the sanctions, and then have where Zelensky saying, and this is going to give them easily $10 billion. That's not a path to peace. While we're showing the bombs, while we're showing the cost of each bomb, you know. I'm thinking we'll see. I'm literally thinking let's put it all out, mix it all in, see what we like, you know, take away stuff that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I like to sort of have as many puzzle pieces as I can, and then if I have extra, that's fine. They just go away. But yeah, we'll see.
You said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania. Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania.
All right.
Have you said thank you once?
I think that's sufficient for.
Have you said thank? Have you said thank you once?
Just maybe the audio. Wow, that's short.
Have you said thank you once?
That's very short. So maybe there's more we can glean from that. I kind of just wanted JD's voice.
Have you said thank you once? You said thank you. You went to. Have you said thank you once this entire meeting?
And it's just him being him responding. You have to be thankful. And there's Trump.
You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards.
Thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running low
I
on
know.
soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low on.
President.
You have to be thankful. You know. You have to be thankful.
All right. And then he was saying something like, after he said it, Trump kind of came in with, don't you, he's not raising his voice, or he's not being mean, or something like that. That's it. He's not
speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No.
Can
You've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
I.
You have a damn good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country.
Maybe that's it.
Your country is in big trouble.
Maybe.
Your country
I don't think
is
this
in
is
big
as
trouble.
strong.
Yeah, I mean, that could work well with the whole him pulling the
Trouble.
sanctions.
Oh no. Sorry. Oh, damn it. Okay.
I know.
Your country is in
You're not
big trouble.
Trouble.
What's it not doing the N?
Talking. Your country is in big trouble.
There we go. Okay, and then where Trump was saying
We're also waiving certain oil-related.
ugh. That's in one of my ears, so I'm just gonna see if I can fix the ugh.
You do mono, it should be fine, right?
It is mono, but it just sounds weird to me. So I'm gonna see if I can fix the stereo.
So we have sanctions on some.
That's better. It's mono, but at least it's in both my ears equally. But I can just flip it back to stereo, and it should have it in both ears evenly now. So we'll see.
Countries we're gonna
Nope. So that's just got to be mono. That's fine.
take those sanctions off.
That's better.
until the strength-
I know you can't hear what I'm hearing, but
Maybe we won't have to put them
this
on.
is better.
We're also waiving certain oil-related sanctions to reduce prices. So we have sanctions on some countries. We're going to take those sanctions off.
So we have
So we have sanctions on some countries.
Please
We're going to
take those sanctions off.
till sanctions off.
It's not doing my ends for some reason. Does it want me to do it this way? I think it just likes for me to highlight the text. That's fine.
So we have sanctions on some countries. We're going to take those sanctions off.
Hell, I think we started with that. Like maybe that's not even the maybe that's full video and everything. We'll see.
So we have sanctions on some countries.
Is it on the right track?
I feel like it would be better to put that in later, because then you see the devastation and then you automatically think, okay, maybe we should do something about it, but then you hear Trump saying, oh no, okay, we're making it worse.
Well, this is what's gonna happen, you know. Again, we'll totally see. I'm not married to anything right now, but I think the process should be at some point in there that we're showing the devastation and showing their flippancy about it over it is what's going to be key. So how we introduce it, we'll have to shake that out as we go, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So let me see if it makes sense to.
What is going to happen with that video when it's done, by the way?
Sorry, say one more time.
What is going to happen with that video when it's done?
Oh, we'll put her on social media, and hopefully if we tag like Anna's documentary, I'll put some eyes on that as well. So we'll see. The whole point is that hopefully these things go viral or get viralized in some way. So we'll see. But they'll just start on our social media platforms. So because this is going to be like a 9:16 portrait mode or whatever, that'll go for our YouTube shorts. It'll go for Facebook Reels. It'll go for Instagram. It'll go for TikTok. It'll go for, honestly, we could probably, if we keep it under 90 seconds, preferably under a minute, it can go as is on Threads, Blue Sky, X. So literally, we would like to plaster this all over the place if possible. If it's too long, you can still do that, but you have to link it. Like you have to, if you're on a text-based platform like Blue Sky, Threads, or have to like link it to the YouTube short or whatever. But if it's short enough, we can post them directly. So that's always the hope. But you just have to kind of see what the media, where the media takes you, I guess, for that ultimate length. I'm pretty sure this one will be fairly short. Also kind of want to rearrange this so there's more of a mix of like these where you see that missile.
Thank you once.
You have to be thankful. Talking.
So like that's a lot of nothing until you see it.
The country is in big trouble. Talking. Your country is in big trouble.
That's pretty perfectly centered. Just pop it there just a touch. All right. That's a good one. And literally like $3 million. Damn. So there's no visible. Whoa, Jesus Christ. There's no visible rock in this one.